The people of Nepal are inherently peaceable and welcoming to visitors. But when we arrive in Kathmandu, we find the streets are as noisy and chaotic as any other Asian capital.
Well, if you've had a heart attack, mate, you're dead.
However, we find that this particular hold-up is due to the passage of some special demonstration, or maybe just obsession. But soon we've passed it, and have arrived in the peaceful setting of the Patan Durbar Square. Here we can admire the famous Golden Temple, which was built in the 12th century, before we venture further into the city and mingle with the locals. We have now arrived at the fair trade shop, where the famous healing bowls are made and demonstrated. Chris is hoping that the treatment will help cure his headache, but it certainly wasn't instantaneous. In the afternoon, we travel in another direction and inadvertently come across a temple in the process of construction. The monks are friendly and welcoming, and they encourage us to watch the skilled artisans as they work. There is work to be done outside also, and the ladies are pleased to have a diversion from their monotonous task. Inside, looking up, we could only admire and wonder at how many hours have gone into these beautiful creations. Leaving that temple, we arrive at the Swayambhu Stupa, the most profound expression of Buddhist symbolism in Nepal. However, our sightseeing here was rather curtailed by an unexpected rainstorm. Next, we had to cross a busy road to reach Pashupatinath. This is Nepal's holiest Hindu site, and it holds the ghats, or sites for ritual cremation. The cremations are taking place beside the Bagmati River, which is still considered sacred, although at present the water level is so very low. Another visit was to the 8th century city of Bhaktapur, a World Heritage Site, and considered the cultural capital of Nepal. Here we can admire the beautiful Golden Gate, along with a palace of 55 windows and other treasures of the city. However, it is soon apparent that something special is going on, and we realise we have arrived at the time of the Biscuit Festival, which is the Nepalese New Year, Bhaktapur style. A tug-of-war involving this chariot is an important part of this festival. But as we wander further along these ancient streets, we soon come to today's biscuit celebration. anyone left indoors on this celebratory day. However, we are now moving on to the town of Pahar, which we expect to be more peaceful as it sits quietly beside Lake Pura. But of course it is Nepalese New Year here also, and they work to a different calendar from us. The celebrations we saw were fun, although probably not quite as traditional as elsewhere. But away from this area, the town was peaceful and it was possible to walk the streets. Pahar is noted for its handicrafts, and we were particularly looking to support the businesses working with disadvantaged people. The final articles were beautifully made, but unfortunately we couldn't buy them all. In the clear air of early morning, a visitor to Pahar has a lovely view of the Annapurna mountain range. But all too frequently the lake is shrouded in mist. However, tourists still love to spend time on the lake, as safety is paramount. The provision of life jackets is mandatory, and they may well be worn when on the water. But wearing them is not always compulsory. Nor is ensuring that they fit correctly. Most of the craft consists of two canoes joined together by a platform propelled by one paddle. However, some craft have been turned into pedalos. This trip is taking us to the Barahi temple, and the return trip costs us 62 pence. The temple shrine is situated on a small island in the middle of the lake, and it is very popular with visitors. However, another trip can also be taken across to the other side of the lake. From here, we have a pretty steep climb to reach the World Peace Stupa, which was funded by a Japanese Buddhist organisation that also maintains a monastery here. And back on the lake, the water is continually in use, either for recreation or for the necessary household work. But we are moving on again, to Chitwan National Park. The main tourist activity here is taking a ride on an elephant, so first we have to manoeuvre ourselves on board.
Sorry, mate. I can put it like outside. Like your tiger can you pass it to the rider?
We set off in fine style, but soon come to the river, which the elephants like to enjoy in various ways. Back on land, our crocodile-style travel doesn't look as if it will be very interesting, but soon the elephants go different ways, so that we can see the small deer scattering in front of us. Then we find a stag resting in the bushes, while a wild boar takes little notice of us. Our mahout demonstrates an elegant way to mount an elephant before spotting a lazy crocodile for us. Next, we're pleased to find a couple of rhinoceros resting in the shallows of this waterhole. Chitwan is in fact a rhino sanctuary, with over 500 of them living unmolested in the park. We then dismount and cross the river on foot to visit the park's elephant breeding centre. This big tusker is enjoying his dust bath. We crossed the river again, and next day set out on a peaceful trip in a canoe with an ingenious seating arrangement. Visibility is poor, and the whole area is extremely smoggy, which we are told is because it is necessary to burn off certain areas in order to grow food for the elephants. There is not a great deal of wildlife to be seen, but there are some birds and colourful local workers. But due vigilance by our guide allows us to see mugger and gharial crocodiles along the bank. As we walk back through the forest, we notice a few insects of interest. Then we continue on, passing local inhabitants in their various tasks, making use of the natural resources of the area, and gathering in their various harvests. In the evening, the little town lays on entertainment for us visitors. Here, the traditional Tharu stick dance is performed with much dexterity. It must take quite a lot of practice to perform in this costume also. At the end of the evening, everyone is invited on stage to party. But we shall be holding our own party to celebrate the birthday of the youngest member of our group.
So on behalf of all of us here, I'd like to present a card and a couple of gifts. Well, thank you from all of us. Thank you so much.
And let us thank all the friendly people of Nepal for giving us such a warm welcome.